kids, welcome to Glen's Drum Emporium. It's a kind of a dull, soggy day outside, so I'm indoors playing with some drum stuff. I just got my early 60s Rogers bass drum pedal in. This pedal here, this pedal was a innovative game changer. When it came out, they say at the time it was one of the most adjustable pedals ever made. Like I say, this is early 60s. I think it's around a 62. As you move up the scale, I don't have the secondary one, the innovative one, over this one. I do have this one, which, like I say, this middle Swivelmatic, which is not here, obviously, led to this, which a lot of drummers said this was a failure. But it just depends on the drummer. It is an odd, very bulky looking pedal. But a lot of the technology is still carried over into this. The worst part of this pedal is probably to some just the footboard itself. So I'm going to talk about this pedal first and why it is called a Swivelmatic. And most people don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but we'll give you a rough idea. The term Swivelmatic simply comes from this little plate right here. If I can get this undone, hold on. I'm going to have to loosen it. Yeah, it's a locking screw in there. So the whole point of the Swivelmatic was, if attached to the bass drum, or here's the bass drum hoop right here, is the Swivelmatic is that you could adjust that pedal from side to side and get it in a comfort zone spot. On this pedal, when I take the screw out, you'll see, let's see if I can get some light in there. You can see 3 holes. You can fasten that to any one of the holes and get even more of a spread for the angle. So that is the scoop on the Swivelmatic. Now we are missing the pivot, but that's not a biggie for me. As long as I have this lockdown one, we are fine. But there is a pivot one normally in there. So I'll just kind of get this in a straighter position, because it shouldn't flop around like that. Like this should be down with a solid pin. So, but I've got some extras and we'll get it all worked out. Like I say, it just came in today. So another thing about this pedal is, I don't even think you see this on modern pedals, but these go in here and they lock into a little trough here. And what the, oops, sorry, this way. So you can use this one for metal hoops and this one for wooden hoops. And what this is, you basically were supposed to leave it on, you're supposed to leave it on the rim of the drum. So you left this bracket on the rim of the drum, so it was there all the time. You put the drum in your drum case, and the whole point of it was that you weren't taking the pedal on and off the actual hoop and wrecking and gouging the hoop. This was permanently placed on there, tightened with the screws with these brackets, and it just stayed there. So every time you took the bass drum off, here it's connected to your bass drum, and you would insert it just into the the groove here, and there's a butterfly or wing nut, I should say, with a big arm on it, or cross T, and it locks it into the pedal. And so when you played, it wouldn't come out. So that's another innovative feature that you basically didn't see on pedals back then. The footboard is split right here. I think the model after this, they had that option of a split or solid. I use split boards because I play heel down, foot on, right? But some players play on their toe, and this swivel here is redundant to them. They don't need it. Okay, and now this is an innovative part of this pedal. This tower right here, it's held together with 2 screws, and the whole point of that was, I'm just going to show you, just loosen them off here. The whole point of that was to adjust your tower height for different bass drum diameters. So you could go down to an 18-inch kick, to a 20, and all the way up to, you know, your 20 and 24, and adjust the tower so that the beater, you adjust your tower here so that the beater would always kind of hit in the center of the drum to get your best sound, or close to center. So like I say, down to a small bass drum, you adjust it up to a bigger one. This was a game changer. This is very innovative back in the early days of design. So spring tension, easy to do right here, where most pedals now are down here. You can also adjust the cam here height. There is another, I'm trying to do this without having pieces flying off here. I'll just tighten this down. So right here, you take this one out, you can adjust this up and down for your beater position, whether it be like this or forward. So that was a game changer also. This looks like the original strap on this pedal, to be honest. So a lot of people still prefer strap. I love the strap pedals, to be honest. But they do break. I'm just going to get this more level. And this pedal locks into a ring in here. It's a little bit tricky. It's been modified on later pedals. Also, in the pedal after this, the pedal that you'll find a tension rod screw in here in the secondary model, and this pedal is adjustable from the heel to the footboard, so you can spread it out, make this whole pedal longer. I believe that is not. I believe that's only on the one piece and not the hinged. So there are, like I say, there are two types. There's a single board and the split board. So the single board, even though it's called the single board, it actually is in 2 pieces on some models. You'll know that difference because you'll see a screw, a tension rod screw like this right there that your drum key goes in and adjusts. You loosen it, you can make the heel go out further, make that pedal longer if you have bigger feet like me. So that's actually pretty slick, and underneath this bar is also adjustable not on this particular model, but on the secondary one that I don't have actually, but will. Another innovative thing, the Japanese drum companies always use these type, but this is actually a sharp, pointy anti-slide mechanism. So it digs into your carpet. It also dig into your floor if you had it. And what it does is it digs in and prevents the pedal from sliding, and also because it's attached to the bass drum hoop, it stops the bass drum from sliding. So very innovative. I mean, nowadays these are thumb screw type. They're just a spin with a point. So think of almost like a screw with just a giant thumb knurled end on it. Works great. So this pedal, like I say, very innovative. Very weird feeling on this pedal. You can dial it in to your own needs. That can be totally different than other drummers. It's a beautiful pedal. I've played a friends of mine years ago, the secondary model, not this original design. And the disadvantage of the secondary model is there was more holes in it, and I play barefoot, so I found my toes kind of slipping in the slots because they're bigger on the secondary pedal. This one, it feels alright, and it's definitely a lot of fun to play. I have no issues with this pedal at all. I gave it a whirl there earlier after just getting it in, and I totally love it. It's going with my 1959 Rogers kit. Someday when it's all cleaned up, I'll give the tour of that kit when I get all the new heads on it. This pedal is what they call the Big R series. I believe this pedal is either called the Super or the Special. I'm a little blank on the name. They switched to a wing nut rather than a knurl or a thumb screw type. Basically the designs are similar but smaller. They changed a lot of bearings designs in these pedals. They all work really easy. They're very fast pedals. I know some of them, I've never had them apart, but I've heard they have roller bearings in here, or needle bearings I should say. Don't quote me on that, but one of the flaws to a Rogers pedal, I believe the roller bearings were a tempered steel, whereas the actual axle, I guess you'd call it, was a softer steel, so sometimes you had problems if you were a really heavy hitter of it wearing out the actual main shaft of the pedal. So as you can see, this pedal is a lot uglier. It still functions great. I've played with it, and because I play flatfoot, I find it totally fine. My issue is my feet slide on it. So So even though I'm playing barefoot, my toe will start going into the stop here. This toe thing is removable, and it's also adjustable. It's got a little slot in it, I believe. It's got the telescopic tower. You can see the tower is a bit thinner here compared to that. You can see the bracket is bigger here than it is here, but close. This one has a different swivel mechanism. As you can see, they've upped the steel factor. Now you just loosen with the key right in here, and you can swivel the whole pedal even more so than this. This was limited to, about this much and this much. This one you can really go radical on it, and that was the whole point of the design. This one is not telescopic. Like I say, there are pedals that are telescopic. This goes into the heel, and there's a, I can't remember if it's on the side or on the top, but anyways, this is telescopic, so you can move the pedal back away from the bass drum, and you can also adjust, except on this one, you can adjust, make the pedal longer, in a similar style. I shouldn't say similar style, but in the pedal that looks like this. The second generation, I guess you'd call it. Third generation. The advantage of this pedal is this neat way of cranking down on the bass drum. Oops, sorry. This neat thing. There should be rubber feet right here. They are missing. Not sure where they are. I bought this with a beautiful old late 60s Rogers kit, so, or Slingerland kit, and this came with it. So anyways, your bass drum hoop is in here, and then you just have this crank over, and it locks in. It still has the same type of lock feet for anti-slip. But this was a game changer. This, I believe, was also on the second generation, but not on all of them. Don't quote me on that, but I believe the early ones were similar to this, and then they went to this. So that's how you can kind of date your pedals. These are definitely 70s. I think Big R Rogers were maybe 73, 74, 75, that area is where they started. Heavy duty strap, like heavy duty. And this looks original too, and it looks like it's still got lots of life in it. Whereas this one's a bit smaller, but I don't see any fraying, and I don't feel any fraying, but I'm sure that one would break. I mean, you count the years from 1962 to now. So that's basically this pedal. You can see that bracket there is pretty heavy duty right here compared to the flat steel one over there. They were trying anything to make the pedal faster and with more features to adjust. But the middle generation pedal is probably the most adjustable. The Rogers company has now come back to life, and what should be sitting here is the new generation of pedal that came out, I think, in 2019. It's eliminated this and gone back to this with a beautiful new footboard design that's similar like this, and a few more adjustments, and a very clean and very durable design. So I love the look of the new pedal, to be honest, and I'm tempted to try one, but I haven't found one in a music store I can try. So anyways, so I'm not quite sure when the Swivelmatic bass drum pedal started. I'm still doing history on Rogers drums. Some of these drum companies, it's hard to find proper, correct history. But I know that these pedals, judging by some of the schematics that were online that I found, that this pedal that I've got in today is definitely early 60s. They had also a Rogers Rocket pedal, and I'm going to research that too. It looks a lot like the Swivelmatic, and I have to research what the differences are. But obviously, I think if it doesn't have the word Swivelmatic in it, it's not a pedal that you can angle. That's the advantage, when you can angle the pedal this way. A lot of people just their bodies are designed differently. It's like some people's feet, they walk this way, like, and some are pigeon-toed, some are this way, some are straight. So having this adjustable, while keeping this straight at the bass drum, is an advantage, and a lot of people loved it for that. You don't see that in any other pedal. I do believe Rogers is the only one. So the cool thing about this pedal, It was owned by my friend Al Lamore, who passed away in November, and his brother Craig, who I thank very much for selling me this. This was in his collection, and Al and I talked vintage drums all the time, and I really appreciate having Al's bass drum pedal in my collection. I have his original Gretsch drum set from the 80s in my collection, so this is just a nice touch. It'll be with me until I pass away, so that someone else can deal with it after that. So anyways, that's a scoop on the Rogers pedal purchase today, and a combination of these two pedals. I'll let you know when I get the middle second edition, because I'm shopping for one, and we'll do a little video on that. Thanks for watching.